Hoorah, we are live. We are live. We're live. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. We're live. Of course, no one's watching, but hey, that's something else. Whew, yeah. Well, I was going to do a question or go through my comment section that I had, and we'll see if we can get a better camera angle here. I don't know how long I want to stay on here, not real long. I got other stuff I got to do. I can't be sitting here talking to shit with you guys all night. Everybody's here to talk anyway, so. But anyways, I was going to go do a, let's see if I can get a better camera angle here. Let me see what we can do. Maybe. Anyways, so we're working on a slammed lawnmower. For those of you that don't know, you've been living under a rock or something. That's what we've been doing. And I'm actually doing right now behind me over here. Let's see if I can show you guys. I got a axle, a trailer axle. I got dirt over my face. Fuck yeah. I got a 16-foot utility or 16-foot trailer frame that I'm going to turn into a food trailer or a concession trailer, I guess is what it's going to be. So I'm working on that. I'm working on this slam lawnmower that's sitting off to the side and smoking a big old cigar. But anyways, this was not planned. It kind of was planned. I was going to do it last night. And I was going to actually bring my laptop out and go through a bunch of comments on the channel and just like answer questions. But that's pretty boring anyways. So I was just sitting here and I just got done. I took this, well, let me go show you what I got. So I took these brakes off, or I took these drums off. Let me turn this thing around real quick. Here we go. So I took the drum off here, and the drums are laying down here on the floor. And this side don't got no brakes on it. It's got the magnet that runs the brakes, but ain't got no brakes on it. Then you come to this side, so I'm thinking, okay, there's no brakes on this thing. So I come over here, I pull this one off, and it's got brakes on it. So one side's got brakes and one side doesn't. Makes zero sense. But anyways, this is a dual axle 16-foot frame. They're 3,500 pound axles to 7,000 pounds. Pretty cool. So we're going to work on that, and we're going to try to have it ready to go by spring. So I brought that in, and I'm live. So if you want to be on my live stream, come on over. We're live. There's no one watching, but anyways. So there's Tina. That's who we're building the food cart for. So anyways, I pulled the axle off of the trailer and brought it in here, and I sanded it down, and we're gonna paint it. And I got paint, a little bit of paint, not a lot. Somewhere. There's a can of it's sitting here. And I ain't got no paintbrush. So I kind of ended my night here. I took the springs off, I sanded those down, or wire brushed them down, and did the axle. And I got a set of hubs for it. I took the hubs off, and I'm not even going to sand them or wire brush them down and paint them. I got a set underneath here that's already painted. I'll just throw them ones back on. So we'll get a paintbrush in the morning, get this stuff painted up. And might be going back to work tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And then on my lawnmower, my slam lawnmower, the series as you guys have been watching, like another video that I just shot. It'll be coming out here probably Saturday, Friday, something like that. The transmission's locked up. I don't know what's going on there. So I dropped the whole thing down, and I got the brakes kind of installed. They're on there, but they're not complete yet, but they are on there. And then I got the front end. I flipped the front end, and it's where I want it. It's like 3 inches, 3 1/4 inches of clearance the whole way across. pretty even. And somewhere along the line, I had the transmission apart the other week. In one of the videos, I had to JB weld it back together because I broke the case. I got it in the machine, got it all bolted up and everything, and I can't get it to go into gear. So it is completely locked up. I don't know if it was working before I bolted the top on. I was going through the gears and everything, so everything worked. Once I bolted it together, it's not working now. So I got to take that back out, pull that back apart, see what's going on there. Still looking for a motor. The let's see, there's a motor up in Everett. There's actually a full tractor, and I don't know if the guy wants to sell it. He still has it listed, and I keep asking him to come up, but he's like, yeah, maybe on Saturday, maybe, I don't know, maybe, we'll see. So he's not too hot to sell it, and it'd make it pretty cool. It's he wants $75 for the whole thing. He wanted like $100 for the mower with the motor, and then I wanted like $75 for just the motor. But it's been on there for like 3-4 months. I've been watching it, and it dropped the price to $75, $50 for the motor. I said, well, how much you want for the motor and the tractor? He's like, $75. I said, I'll take the whole thing. It gives me basically a parts lawnmower. It gives me a second frame, a second rear differential, and then a bunch of extra parts, which is not a Craftsman, but it's fine. They're basically the same. I think it's I don't even know what it is, to be honest with you. But it has a 17.5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton on it, and it runs. So I can just pull that motor off, drop it in this thing. I got my motor, and then we can just move right along once we get this transmission. The other thing is I got a second transmission. I don't know what transmission's in it, or transaxle or whatever, and I wouldn't know that until I looked at it. But in theory, I could just pull that transaxle out, throw it in this one, and pull this one out and keep it for parts or something, since the case is cracked, if it's a good transmission or transaxle. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I don't know if he's going to sell us. I'm going to message him. If I don't go back to work tomorrow, you laughing at me over there? Oh, I thought maybe he was laughing. If I don't go back to work tomorrow, I might get a hold of him and see if he wants to, if I can go up and pick it up tomorrow. I found another just a motor down in Virginia, about an hour from here, 45 minutes from here. It's just a motor. It's $50, and it's a running motor. It's a Renegade, I think, which are all the same. I think. I don't know. I don't know much about the motors. It's a 17. I think it's a 17.5 horsepower too. It's running. So anyways, that's what we got. And like I said, I'm off work. I said I was going to take a couple days off, and I did. I took a couple days off. I should have went back today, but I didn't. And like I said, I might go back tomorrow. We'll see what's up with that. Or I might take the rest of the week off. I don't know. I don't need to go back to work, I guess. I do need to go back to work, but whatever. If I go back to work, awesome. If I don't go back to work, whatever. I'll go back at some point. So anyways, I don't know. That's about it. I flipped that front end around. I'm not video. It's gonna be like a little spoiler. I ended up cutting that frame right in front of the motor, and I flipped it. So I moved the axle forward about 5 inches. So I stretched out the frame. It's not gonna be any wider, and I'm still debating on whether or not I'm gonna build a front end, a different steering. I'm gonna see I think I'm gonna keep this one for now and see what it actually, once I get it running, see what it drives like. And then if I feel like I need to switch it or build one, then I'll build one. I don't think they're gonna be, I'll do more research, but I don't think they're that complicated to build. I think you just gotta put a couple jigs up. You get a couple jigs, and then you can just basically build and repeat the parts. And that'll be the biggest thing, just getting the jigs right. Once you get the jigs right, just throw the parts in, weld them together, and you should be good, in theory. So I don't know. I don't know yet what I'm doing. I like the idea of building a front end, of doing a different front end, because it gives me the option of widening it a little bit if I want to. And doing some custom stuff that I really can't do on this. Which if I'm going to do it on this, you might as well just build the front end, because you're just going to end up chopping it up and basically building a half front end. So you might as well just do the whole thing. I can put threads where the tires go, so I can put a cotter pin in to hold the front tires on and stuff like that. I don't know. That's down the road a little bit. So that's about it. Other than that, I've just started making videos again for this channel. I think it's been like 8 or 9 months since I made a video, and now I've uploaded like 4 or 5 videos in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and I think I got 1, maybe 2. I might have enough footage to do 2 more. I don't know. I'll probably just do 1 though. I'll probably take all the footage and just make 1 video, and that's of me flipping that front end and stuff like that. And I'm probably gonna start a series on building this trailer too. Maybe we'll do that. So on the weekend when I'm home, we'll kind of probably be more focused on that trailer, to be honest with you, because this lawnmower is it's cool and everything, but it's nothing that needs to be, it's nothing important that has to be done. So if it sits for a few weeks or a couple months, that's fine. We can spend our time working on this trailer and getting it punched out, because my goal is to have that thing ready to go by spring. So it's kind of a timeline or something, I guess. I don't know. I might be able to get the Tina to get involved in some of the videos if we're working on that food cart concession trailer. And I should have made video of me. I tore the axle out, and then I came in here and started. I got it all wire brushed down. I got the springs all wire brushed down. I got everything ready to go. I got the second axle out there. It's not on the trailer. It's sitting beside the trailer. It's already painted and ready to go. And I'm going to put idler hubs on that one and put that one in the front. So that's basically ready to go on. Then this one, once I get it painted, it'll be ready to go on. So the axles will be ready. And I just got to put idler hubs on that axle. And I'll put the brake drums on this one, but it won't have brakes. I ain't putting brakes on it. You don't need brakes. I'll maybe do that down the road or something. I don't know. I ain't putting brakes on it though. It don't need brakes. It ain't gonna be that heavy. Plus, I'm gonna be pulling it with my 3500, so it won't be a problem stopping that thing. So we'll start a series on that. I think I'll start shooting the video tonight and tomorrow and try to get a part 1 of that. I don't know how many parts we're gonna do. Bye, Tina. Say bye to everybody. Bye. So. Anyways, that's what we got going on. I'll shoot some video and we'll do I don't know, I'll have that come out. So between the lawnmower and the trailer, maybe we'll have a little. I'll probably just do 1 video a week though. I ain't gonna do more than 1 because I work out of town and I'm only home on the weekend. So if I get in on a Friday, I leave on Sunday. I got a day and a half a day. Depending, sometimes I don't leave till Monday, but it depends. But for the most part, I leave on Sunday morning at 10, so there's nothing being done on Sunday. So and then you get in on Friday, depending on what time you get on Friday, you might only have like 1 day. And depending on what I got planned for the weekend, I might come in one weekend and not even work on anything. But then I might get in on a Thursday and not leave till Monday. And, and you'd have 2 days or so. 3 days. You'd have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday basically to work on stuff and then leave out Monday morning or something like that. And I said, I don't have to go back to work. It's not like I like my job and everything. And I was planning on going to work tomorrow. I drive tractor trailer. I drive flatbeds. And so I was planning on going back today. And we woke up and I was looking at the load board and I seen a load that I was going to go pick up near Pittsburgh. I was like, oh, that's a good load going out to Crawfordsville, Indiana. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that load out there. That's a good area to get out to. And we had to go to the grocery store. And usually I pulled these loads before. I pulled them a good bit for this guy up here out of Pittsburgh. And he usually stay on the load board for a while, so I wasn't in a hurry to call in. I said, I'll go to the grocery store, get out, I'll figure it out, because I didn't want to call in and I don't know. I don't. My thought process was, but problem was they went fast. Within like 15, 20 minutes of being posted, they were gone. And I was like, well, yeah, whatever. No biggie. I looked on the load board. I've seen a couple of loads. Nothing that I want to pull. Um, Nothing that really pays me enough to go get in my truck and go to work. But I like my job. Like I don't have a problem. Like I ain't got a problem going to work. I like what I do a lot. Um, it's really fun, and so. But I don't. But I've been getting home every weekend, so I like getting home on the weekends. My job before this, I didn't. I'd be out for weeks and weeks on end, 5, 6, 7 weeks at a time, then get in and have a couple of days off, and then go back out for 5, 6, 7 weeks. And now with this job, I can get home every weekend if I want to. So I've been coming home a lot the last couple of weekends. And kind of tomorrow's kind of my cutoff time. If I don't leave tomorrow, then I'm probably in until Sunday, because if I leave after tomorrow, there's a pretty good chance I'm not going to get in for the weekend. And I really don't want to go sit in a truck stop all weekend, because that's what you do. You pick up a load on Friday, and then you take it somewhere, and you get there on Saturday morning. You sit all day Saturday and all day Sunday in a truck stop, and that sucks. I've done that a lot, and I don't like it. So, anyways, that's what we got with that. Anything else? Let's quit talking about my job, because that has nothing to do with this channel. My 3500, had a pretty funny story about that the other day. Still nobody on here, but hey, you can watch it after the fact. That's why we're talking. So, and I'll stay live till the cigars are gone. Once the cigar is gone, we're getting off there. We're at 17 minutes, probably like 30 minutes or so for a live stream. So the 3500. Let me talk about this first, then we'll talk about the 3500. So the live streams, I want to start doing. I'm thinking about starting to do a live stream. Like I'm getting in on the weekends a lot, so I think I can start doing a live stream on like a Saturday night. Couldn't do it on a Sunday night because I'm usually leaving on. I usually take off on Sunday sometimes, so I won't be able to do it on a Saturday. So it'd almost have to be Saturday sometime. Do a live stream on Saturday. So I might start trying to build that back up, because I wanted to do that before and I never really stuck with it. Like I'd do 1 or 2 live streams, like and then that would be the end of it. And I kind of want to see where I can take the live streams to. See if it's just do a live stream. So I'm thinking maybe I might start doing every Saturday. I'll have to set up a schedule, and then I'd have to actually give a heads up. So, like tonight, I just picked up my phone and went live. Obviously, nobody knew, and obviously no one's watching. But you guys can watch it after the fact. So once I go off, you can come back and watch it or whatever. And I'll keep it on my homepage if you want to watch it or whatever. Until my next video comes out anyways. So if I start doing a live stream on Saturday, like a Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening would probably be the best, especially over the wintertime, because there's not a lot going on in the wintertime. Summertime might be different, but we're going in the winter. It's fall time now. So I think if I start doing a live stream and do one every Saturday consistently, pick a time and be out here and doing it, I think that I can actually get a little bit of a following of people tuning in, and just talking about, slam lawnmowers. I don't know, talking about garage stuff, talking about the stuff I'm doing on my channel, which would be building that lawnmower, doing that concession trailer, but also the other stuff. I got the 3500. I want to talk about that. The other day I was standing outside, and the other thing, I've got the 86 SS Monte Carlo. That's another thing I want to work on. The problem with that is I don't want to start tearing it apart outside. And I got 2 bays here, but 1 bay is used up, and I don't want to put a car in to start tearing apart in this bay, because I have no way to get in. I have no way to get stuff in to work on it if I need to work on something. Like if I need to get my truck inside here, or the car to change the oil, or the Trailblazer or something, get it in here to do something, and I got an SS in here all tore apart, then that bay is done. So I'm kind of holding off on that. If I can get an extra bay, I'm working on some stuff. So we'll see what I can come up with. I want to start working on that Monty too, and that'll be a good video. That'd be a long series, but it'd be a good video. But the 3500, I was standing right outside the door of my garage here, and my 35 was parked over on the side of the building, and I heard a door lock, like like if someone had the little remote and they hit the lock door, and I was sitting there and I heard it lock and I heard it unlock. And I was like, what? And I was standing like, what's unlocking? And I could hear it. And it locked and unlocked, and locked and unlocked, unlocked and unlocked. And it was just locking and unlocking. And I'm looking around, I'm like, and it sounded like it was coming from the Monte Carlo is what it sounded like it was coming from. And I'm standing like back at the back of the Monte off to the side, like right in front of my garage door. The Monte sits off to the right of the garage door in front of the other bay, off to the right. So I was like 10 or 15 feet from the Monte, and I'm like, that Monte don't have electric locks. It has the push down locks. It has electric windows. It don't have electric locks. I don't think it has electric locks. The thing of it is, there's no battery in it, so it wouldn't matter anyways if it did. But it sounded like it was coming from the Monte. And I was like, that is weird. I said, how's that Monte locking? It don't have electric locks. I know it don't, but it don't have a battery in it either. I'm like, this is the weirdest stuff I've ever seen. So I start walking towards the Monte, and it keeps doing it, locking, unlocking, locking, unlocking. And I get to about the driver's door of the Monte, and I can tell at that point that it wasn't coming from the Monte. It's coming from my truck, my 3500. And I was like, hold on a second, someone's pranking me. And I said, where's Tina? I said, she has the lock thing, and she's like up on the porch or something. She's doing it just to, fuck with me or something. Then I remember I don't have a remote for that 3500. I got a key that goes in, and you can lock it once you get in there and hit the button that'll lock. But I don't have no remote. And I'm like, there's no remote to that truck. So who's doing that? So I walked over and opened the door, and I'm standing there. It just keeps locking and unlocking, locking and unlocking. There's a short or something in the wiring, is what I'm guessing. I'm not sure what's going on there, but there's a short in the wiring, I'm guessing. So I'm standing there, and it locks and unlocks and locks and unlocks. I don't got no keys in, so I'm not worried about it being like locking the keys in, because the keys are in the house. And I got a spare key anyways for it in case the keys get locked in, I can get into it. So I was like, that's weird. And I didn't want to really deal with it. I was like, yeah, I don't feel like dealing with it. So I was like, something, it's probably got to keep doing this. I'm going to be out of town. It's going to run a battery dead. So I disconnected the battery. And I went to work, and I was gone for a week, and I come back, and I'm out here for a week, get back on a Friday or whatever, Thursday, Friday, whatever time I get in. And I need to go to the store for something. I don't know what I was going for. So I go out to my truck, put it in, start it up, and it does the security thing where it starts up, runs for a second, and shuts off. I was like, I've had this happen before. No biggie. I didn't know exactly how to fix it. I do now. But before, I just kept running. I just kept starting it. And I thought there was something with the fuel pump or something like that. So I left the ignition on by accident and went in the house to check something on YouTube to see what I thought was wrong with it. And I came back out. This is the last time, not this time, the first time it happened. I came back out and shut the key off. Like, oh crap, I left the key on. Turned it back on, it started up, and it was fine. So you got to relearn the system. You got to leave the key on for like 10 minutes, shut it off, see if it'll start, turn it back on, let it start, shut off, leave the key on for 10 minutes, shut the key off, try to start it again. And it could take up to 3 times. So it could take up to a half hour to relearn the computer, relearn the system. So the first time I did it the first time. So I left the key on for 10 minutes, shut the key off, and it started up where it was good. This time, I had to do it 3 times. So I sat out there for a half hour, turned the key on, started it, it shut off, left the key on, let it run for 10 minutes, or let the key on for 10 minutes, shut the key off, started back up. It started, shut back off. I leave the key on. I put a timer on my clock and came back in the garage and messed around. Once the timer went off, I went out, shut the key off. And like I said, it was a half hour, but the third time I knew it was going to work because there's a little security light up in the dash. And all the times I was out there, the security light was on. The third time I went out, I walked up and I seen the security light was off, and I knew it was going to start. And I left it run. And that wasn't even like 10 minutes in. I think there still had like 3 or 4 minutes left. And I was like, yeah, I'll just let it run out for the 10 minutes. So I let the 10 minutes run, shut it off, started up, and running fine. So it gave me a security thing for disconnecting the battery or whatever. I don't know if the lock's still locking. I don't know if that relearning that security thing fixed that. I haven't heard it do it, but I really wasn't paying attention the last couple of weeks. But the battery's hooked up, and if it is, whatever. Hope we don't run the battery dead. So I'm going to try to get a lawnmower engine for this thing, for this slam lawnmower, like I was saying. So I might get a hold of the guy. I might go pick one up. If he will sell it to me, I'll go up and buy. I'll try to get it tomorrow if I don't go to work. Like I was saying before, I would really like to get that. Oh, and I bought a pulley. And my dumbass. Look at this. So I bought a pulley because I'm doing a pulley swap on this thing. So we're going to do a pulley swap, and everybody's doing like the 7-3 or whatever. And I think there it is. I don't even know if this is going to be a good pulley to use or not, but this is the swap I'm doing. I'm doing a 3.5 on the back, and I was told not to use this type of pulley, but I already bought it, so I'll use it. If it ends up breaking or whatever, I'll buy another one. It's a die cast pulley. I was told not to use it. After I bought it, someone said, don't use a die cast. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't have the receipt for it. So I was going to do, so that's a 3.5, and I was like, 7-3 is what everybody's doing. So I got a 3.5, and then I bought this thing. And it's completely hollow through. I don't know if you can see that. You can see my eyeball in there. But it doesn't have the, let's see if I can find it right here. You can see, right, maybe you can't. There it is. See that little indent? That's where the key that goes into the shaft of the motor. So I thought that key would run the whole length of this shaft, is what I was hoping. And I was going to cut this thing off, like I was going to put it on to find out what the length, and I was going to cut this thing off where it hit the bottom of the shaft, put a washer on, put a bolt on, and just tighten it up like that. This ain't going to work. So, and this is a 6. What is this? A 6.5? I think it's a 6 3/4 or 6 7. Let me grab a tape measure real quick. It's basically a 7-inch pulley. It's basically a 7-inch, so it'd be like a 7 to 3.5, which some people saying gets like 30 miles an hour. Other people saying they can get like 40. If I get more than 30, I'll probably kill myself. So my luck, something will break on that thing, and I'll go cruising, barrel rolling down the freaking highway at 30 miles an hour and get ran over by a truck or something. I don't know. So this thing here, let's see what this thing comes in at. Yeah, it's just a 6-inch. Yeah, it's just a 6. I thought it was a 6, and I thought it was a 6. It must have been saying a 5 7/8. I read it wrong. So it'd be a 6 to a 3.5 is what this would have been if I would have used this. But I'm not going to use this. So the other thing is, I got this pulley. This is the one off the transaxle. So it's got, the hole ain't big enough. Obviously, it's a 3/4 hole, I think. And the shaft, obviously, of the motor is a 1-inch hole. Don't be playing that out here. So that wouldn't work. There was a couple people saying that you could grind these rivets down and pop this center out and then go buy a center that has a 1-inch bore and weld it in here. But I'm looking at this. This is a 9-inch pulley, so that's way too big anyways. I'd be going like 60 miles an hour. This is an 8 7/8. Basically a 9-inch pulley. And so I think that's too big. I think 7's the max I want to go with on a pulley swap. So a 7 to 3.5, because here's what I'm thinking anyways. I don't know, maybe this ain't right, I don't know. But they say a 7 to 3 gives you like 30 miles an hour, so 35 miles an hour. So that's the difference of like 4 inches, right? So if you go 7 to 3, you go an 8 to 4. And the reason I say go bigger on the rear pulley is if you go bigger on the rear pulley, you're going to get more grip and less likely for the belt to slip. So if you went with a 9-inch, you go with a 6-inch or a 5-inch on the transit, a 5-inch on the transaxle and a 9-inch on the motor. But that might be too big, I don't know. And clearance is going to become a problem, I think, too. I put that motor in there, and that shaft hangs down, because I got this frame sitting at like 3¼ inches off the ground. It's pretty freaking low. And I might have a problem with clearance. Once I get that motor in there, the shaft hangs down. If it hangs below the frame, which I don't know if it's going to or not, I haven't really measured it. I haven't got that far ahead on it. But if the shaft hangs below the frame, then there's going to be a clearance problem, because obviously you want everything up inside the frame. That way when the frame bottoms out, you're not bottoming out the engine shaft into the ground or into the asphalt or into the concrete or something like that. If that ends up happening, I'm hoping it's going to be up inside the frame. There's ways around that. I might be able to raise up make a plate that a motor sets on. It'll raise the motor up, maybe. I don't know. But that's what we got going on with the pulley swap, with the transaxle. The brakes, I got the brakes on, but they're not hooked up. I'm holding off on that, and the reason I'm holding off on that is I haven't decided yet if I'm going to hook the brakes to the foot pedal that runs the belt. So when you depress the foot pedal, it releases pressure on the belt. So then you're not going anywhere. I can't think of what I want to say. You know what I'm talking about. When you depress the brake, it's like a clutch. It pushes in, so now the engine's running, but nothing's going to the transaxle. Now you're just coasting. The problem with that is, if you do that, it's not a really problem. You just have to adjust it to where the brakes don't really apply till you're like halfway through. So whenever you push the pedal down, you're disengaging that belt. Then once you get to halfway, that belt should be disengaged enough to where it's not really giving you any forward force, and you can continue pushing. At that point, the brakes would start engaging. You don't want the brakes to engage as soon as you push pressure on the thing, because you're still going to be, your pulleys are still going to be turning, so you're going to probably burn up your brakes quicker. At least that's my thought process anyway. So if I do that, I think a handbrake would be pretty cool too. If you could hook up a handbrake on the side, you could just keep it separate. Then, if you don't want to, if you want to disengage the clutch, you can do that, and you can still roll, and then can use a handbrake to kind of control your braking, which might be better actually. That's probably the way I'm going to go. I just don't know how I'm going to hook it up yet. Like a suicide brake. I don't know if that's what it's called or not, but you know what I mean. A lot of guys do that with the brakes. They'll hook up a separate handle, and then you can just crank on the brake itself and keep it separate. That way, that's going to be the way to go, because it's going to keep it separate. Keep you. But anyways, I'm about done with the cigar, so we're going to be signing off. We're at 34 minutes and not one person tuned in, which is sad, because I'm going to give stuff away to the people that tuned in, and no one tuned in, so no one gets no free stuff. I get to keep it. If you'd have tuned in, you could have got something free. You might have got a free slam lawnmower. You don't never know what I was going to give away. I'd have gave everything away. But anyways, yeah, we're at 35 minutes. We're going to get off here. That's about it. Just wanted to come on here, do a live stream real quick. It's a Tuesday evening. And I just, I wanted to get this axle painted. I really did. And I got a little bit of paint to do it with. I could have got that, and I could probably got the axle 3/4 of the way painted with the paint I had. And then maybe started on these springs and stuff and got that done. Because once that's done, I can throw these hubs back on, re-grease the bearings, throw that back on, and then axle really get back on the trailer. And the trailer needs to be painted. I got to paint the trailer frames. I want to do that before I put the axles on. But I'm going to make a video about it. We'll do a part 1. So if you're watching this within the next 3 days, there'll be a part 1 of that trailer we're building. So I'll make some video of that. See what I can come up with, make it interesting stuff. So other than that, oops, shit, that's about it. So anyways, I'm going to finish this cigar. I'm going to shut the lights off in this place, call it a night, and see what happens in the morning. See if we're going to work tomorrow or going to go pick up a lawnmower engine. Either way, I'm cool with. So again, thanks for watching after the fact. Go check out the series of the Slam lawnmower, and keep a lookout for a series on a concession trailer build. Should be coming out in the next couple days, or at least the next week anyways. And look out for some more info on doing live streams every Saturday. I'll see if I can get Tina to join in on the live streams. I don't know if she'll join in or not. She's kind of shy. I'll get her a case of Corona. We'll have fun. We'll get her a case of Corona and get her on the live streams. They'll be interesting then. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. So, anyways, that's going to do it, guys. Again, thanks for watching. Check out my videos. Like, comment, all that cool stuff. And I'll see you guys in a couple days when my video comes out. And thanks for watching.